안녕하세요. 하투하3 시간입니다. 오늘은 켄트시 수제 쿡 시장님을 모시고 시 운영과 시 전반에 관한 내용을 들어보도록 하겠습니다. Hello, Mayor.
Hello, Candace.
Suzette Cooke, how are you?
Very good.
Thank you for letting us interview you. So I have some questions that I'm going to ask you. What is your proudest achievement as the Mayor of Kent?
Well, certainly the Showware Center is the most visible achievement. That occurred because there was a need for the Seattle Thunderbirds to find a home. And as a city, our city council, in talking about the future of Kent, we're looking for a way for us to have a regional attraction. That met up with the opportunity to house the Thunderbirds as the main tenants. And now it has become such a happening place. We not only have the Seattle Thunderbirds there, we have the Tacoma Stars soccer team indoor, we have the Seattle Mist, a women's football team, but we have so many concerts and speakers that come in. We have filled the 6,600 seats in there. We have filled it to capacity with speakers and entertainment. So it's really been a boon to the community.
Good. And what are some projects being undertaken to improve the quality of life of the residents of Kent?
One of those projects is a new Cultural Communities Board that we have. Since Kent is now ranked as the 10th most diverse city in the United States, while there's a richness that comes with that, there's a lot of challenges for families that aren't used to our culture here. So adding value to people's lives sometimes takes a different path than many of us took to be able to achieve success, feel at home. So the Cultural Communities Board is working on bringing together their differences and how we as a city can recognize those. We can make some modifications, and certainly we can celebrate those differences.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay, and what are some issues in the city of Kent that are on your agenda to resolve?
I think a key issue continues to be our financing. Most people don't realize that when the state changed the way it distributes sales tax back to the cities, the city of Kent was the hardest hit. So our warehouses, of which the Kent Valley is the 4th largest warehouse distribution center in the United States, our warehouses used to generate sales tax. And then the city would use that money to reinvest into our roads, our programs, our services. The state changed that, and effective in 2009, at the same time we were reeling from the Great Recession, we end up losing it's $12.7 million a year from taxes. That's never going to be made up. So it kind of took the rug out from under us when it comes to our future being able to invest in parks and economic development efforts. We've had to really tighten our belt, basically. So finances continue to be a challenge for us. I also think that the fact that with international trade being such a major component of our economic development efforts, we trade with people from around the world. That it comes out of the Kent Valley, whether that's in manufacturing or the warehouse distribution side of it. So a challenge going forward is really what's going to happen at the federal level? What's going to happen with our trading partners? Those items that are traded are directly connected to jobs of the people here in Kent. So we want to make certain we have a strong economy and recognize it is a global economy.
Good. In your opinion, what are the best qualities of Kent that set it apart from other cities?
I have to say that I am thrilled with the way Kent is evolving as a city. I moved here a long time ago. I moved here in 1975. There were just 17,000 people in the population then. Today, we're 125,000 people with a lot more activities, a lot more choices that people can make. And what sets us apart is partly our position, where we are located. So there's easy access to Seattle and Tacoma. We are close to the centers of trade and activity and therefore jobs. And I think best of all is really the people that have decided to make Kent their home. We have such an energetic, creative group of residents. They are always looking at how they can improve the community. Sometimes that's in physical ways, as we have hundreds and hundreds of people volunteered to maintain our parks, to create opportunities for fresh fruits and vegetables with farmers markets, all done with volunteers. And while communities like to brag about their volunteers, I think Kent has the best.
Good. As a mayor who is currently serving 3 terms, what has been the most fulfilling aspect of your role in the city?
What has been maybe a surprise and then at the same time very fulfilling has been how people tend to look up to the role of mayor. The fact is our government is based on any resident who's a citizen of this country, who's lived in this city for a year or more. Any one of them can be mayor if they have a position that the general voting public agrees with and votes for. So it's always a bit surprising and humbling to me when people think the mayor has so much power and must be this great individual. Well, of course, I like to think of myself as being a great individual when it comes to being able to get things done. But it is really through the people that we get things done. It's the fact that the mayor doesn't get to vote is always a surprise to folks. The fact that the mayor is a servant leader. So I don't have all the control people tend to think I have, but I also am here to find ways that can add value to their lives. So that means they have to be engaged. That's where the fulfillment comes, is when people get it, when they realize this is their city, not the mayors or the city councils. We all share in that. But it is the very people we serve that this city belongs to.
Well, obviously, people really love you. That's why you serve 3 terms.
I would hope so. Thank you.
The last question is, you have climbed to the summit of 8 of Washington State's major peaks. Which peak was the most challenging to climb?
Well, I would say the first one, only because I took mountain climbing because of my fear of heights. I could not stand on a table or climb a ladder. I was so restricted.
To overcome your fear, you started climbing.
Absolutely. And what the great lessons that taught me, besides the beauty, there is so much one can see from the mountain peaks that we can't see from the valleys. But it is the fact that when you get your mind off of yourself, and you have to do that in mountain climbing, you're thinking about the people that you're roped up with. My misstep can cause them harm. And so my focus in many cases, because my climbing was glacial climbing. I like climbing on the glaciers more than rock climbing. But the glacier climbing, it is making sure that you have a strong hold with your crampons, your ice axe, and you get into a rhythm of climbing up the glaciers. And then I couldn't think about the height because I was focused on the pathway up. It also is, to me, that's my release. While mountain climbing has a lot of stress with it, when you go backpacking, and sometimes that's with an ice axe, but backpacking, getting out into nature, it takes me 3 days to unwind and then actually feel more a part of nature. So going for a week into the wilderness is my release and it's my regeneration.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Thank you for your time and giving us KBS WA the opportunity to interview you. I feel privileged and it is an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Candace.
Thank you.